how they meditate, how they do their everything. Just how they put things in perspective. Just mimic that. Why would you now go try to do this and go learn all over on your own, making all these mistakes and you waste 10 years of your life when you could be speeding that up and like from day one, you're already ahead of the game.
You know what's funny about that? Because I look at it this way. How can so we have the values that make up the values that constitute civil society. We have thrown down how they have to do it. Family was number one. But no more there. So now you're not focusing on you want to build a career. But the question for everyone every time is always, I always ask them, so can you build a career? Can't you build a career when you have a family?
Yeah, but of course, like what has been sold to them is
because most times people just think, because I've seen, if you look at the corporate culture, most of the people there that have great careers or whatever, they have family.
of course.
It's fat. And they actually excel more. Because you've seen all these people, they think maybe they see kids that's hindrance.
The difference with them though, instead of from a come up like me and you, most of them never had to hustle like how we hustle. They have inheritance that's transferred. So
that's a good point,
So the partners that they have, they're on the same wavelength. So when they collaborate, like remember in old time English Britain days with castles and stuff, it's king have a daughter and another king say, yo,
of course,
have a son.
Yep.
Even if the king is like 50 plus and my daughter's 18, they're like, yo, let's get married so we secure
our inheritance. Yeah.
That's how they do it. So they've been doing that since ages. So with us now, when we see these guys corporately, oh man, they're married. Yeah, because they have
something always there.
That is correct. So for them, they're already coming with inheritance, with a whole bunch of stuff. They come together, they create a full out. You know what I mean?
I feel like, do you know what's really funny about that you said? Because the society, they're trying to, this whole aspect of family, they don't want people to believe
There's
in it
an
anymore.
attack on family.
But you know what's funny?
Like
they don't believe in it. But hear the irony of what you said now. They're still the one maintaining it.
Of course I maintain.
Do you get what I mean?
It's not all of them though.
No, but you don't get what I mean. Because
it's not all of them. Like the society, of course. Like,
some
part of society still promotes that.
But
not all of them.
But let me shock you. The middle class is surviving because of those people are still promoting the family. Because you look at it this way, if it's not working, the level of people that get married every summer will not be this high.
But like vis-a-vis the number of breakups and
no, obviously, breakup was, but the number is always good. The number has tripled.
Yeah, but
people
then there's
people get married.
There's a difference between wedding.
Okay, yeah, wedding. Okay, yeah, obviously marriage. Yeah, true.
But you know what?
That's correct.
That's what you always have when you have Siobhan,
dropping the bomb.
The guy gets started. They start, bro.
It started from the parking lot.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. First of all, I honestly want to apologize on behalf of these guys.
Which guys?
Of course, both of you.
Of Cali.
For coming late. This guy told me he was downstairs by 6:50. He was taking a call. He's always taking a call, bro.
And you know what's funny with that call? It's
talk.
never a call
that
could improve this podcast.
No. It's a business call.
No. Any call you take in a parking lot is not a business call.
Honestly, man.
It's a ticket call. You're either owing a ticket.
Listen, bro.
Hey.
Nah, I'm glad.
Hey,
I'm glad to have you guys, bro. I was literally talking to how have you been, man?
Man, I've
Since
been
the
good,
last
man.
time you were here. Like the last time you were here, you dropped some bomb. I'm like, nah.
Is this checking our speakers?
Nah. But yeah.
Man, since I've been here for the last one, things have been great, man.
Yeah,
I mean, since then I've just been. So in March,
Yeah.
my mom sort of had a very, very tough event.
Wow.
I was just putting my kids to bed, regular night.
Yeah.
And I got a random call. Yo, your mom's been rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery.
Wow.
No heads up, nothing like that.
Down.
And it's one of those things where it's scary because you just have no control. She's back in Turks and Caicos, so they had to get her over to Jamaica to do a emergency surgery and so forth. But what's wild about that, man, is just that I have been so an advocate of like people plan. You know what I mean? In terms of like making sure your things are in order and so forth. And thank God for the planning that we had established with her. Everything was blessed, everything sorted out, taken care of. So, she's recovering and everything is good.
Great, man.
But the impact that had for me was like, yo, if this can happen to me, I can't imagine how many people this is happening to.
Yeah.
And that can happen. And my mindset from that was like, yo, I want to sort of put all the knowledge and content that I have. I'm still young. I'm not an old guy, but I read, I learn, I listen.
Yeah.
And as much as I am growing up, and now I'm like almost 37 in October, my thing is like, yo, I'm just going to impart knowledge. And so on my Instagram, Ask Siobhan, now what I've been doing is that every week I just putting stuff out.
Nice.
Telling people, like, if you're buying a house, forget mortgage insurance. Get a term. Because mortgage insurance, the lender himself, he's the beneficiary. 100%. You want your family a beneficiary. Anything happens, the family gets it, not the lender. Just give people tips. Like, when it comes to owning a car, here are 6 things you need to know. If you're going to buy a new car, get a waiver of depreciation. Why? Because no matter whatever year that car crashed, you get a brand new car at the end of the day. You get a brand new car for the market value.
Oh.
So if like 10 years down the line...
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. If 10 years down the line, your car crash, whatever that brand aligned car is in that 10th year, that's what you get the check for, to buy that car.
Because are you listening, young man? Because you need to pay attention.
Kali, listen. Kali,
You need to
let me
pay
chat.
attention.
Kali, we both know there's no way in this world you're going to buy a new car. There's no point.
Let me tell you.
But for folks...
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
You know why?
But for people in that mindset, man,
Yeah.
so there's so much tips and tricks out there, man. Like some people used to think like, man, I just got beer parking tickets, it's gonna affect my insurance. Parking tickets have nothing to do with your insurance. Your premiums doesn't move at all when it comes to parking tickets. There's no relationship whatsoever. None.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. There's no relationship
that.
whatsoever to parking tickets.
I'm a
They've
first time.
ripped
I'm a
this
first
guy
time,
off.
like.
No,
first
but
time-
why don't you pay your ticket? That's kind of absurd.
No.
Here's not Nigeria, young man.
No.
You pay your ticket on
Can
time.
you- tickets in Nigeria.
I pay my ticket, right?
No, but how do you know about that
Is it-
something happening now?
Is it parking ticket or like speeding
No.
tickets?
Speeding tickets for sure, there's gonna affect your insurance.
No, that's different,
This
man.
guy
That's
wants to black
different.
speeding
Hey, come on,
tickets.
man.
Okay,
Speeding ticket is different.
different.
Even, why are you not paying the speeding ticket?
Yeah.
Kali, I pay on
They
my
give you
ticket.
30 days to pay
I've
that.
reduced. See, I've watched.
So you have a
myself.
lot already.
No, I had to, and I was like, shit.
Okay, no.
So
Where were you rushing to, first of all?
I was rushing to work. That's one.
Young man, let me tell you something.
What?
I
This
get
is
it.
what happens when you
man.
leave your home late all the time.
Young man,
I get it.
first of all, your BMW. Well, let's forget about that.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
The way you're driving. Do you know the secret of driving? Okay, see, to get ticket is easy. To get ticket is not easy. Not to get ticket. Do you know that sometimes if you drive in a group, you avoid ticket?
To avoid ticket for sure.
But remember, the group doesn't mean you should give the person long
Gap.
Yeah.
Distance.
like Nigerian bomber to bomber. Because if anything happens, you tell the police this person is on 62. But anyway, yeah, it's always.
But is it after they pulled you over, then you now start telling the police?
Tell the police that-
One time like that, the police pulled me over. You know what the guy said?
What?
It just has to be someone. That was the same. That was the word. That was the statement he made.
I think that's what they do.
He said
like
he
it
just-
just has to be someone.
There's a quota.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
There's at the end of the month,
Yeah.
there's a quota that everybody have to sort of hit. Because at the end of the day,
Individually?
listen, for police and so forth, there is a quota that needs to be hit. Because for them, if everybody is acting and behaving in a very safe manner, there's no need for a traffic
course.
police.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's no need for them because everybody's following the.
Then they will cut their budget
So
as
the
well.
quota that has to hit it to say, yeah, we're still needed because this is one of the troubles on the road.
Yeah.
We need them. You know? For no reason, we always need the police.
man.
Kali, how you enjoying your new house?
Man.
It's not easy, man. Like
Well, it's nice, you know. Thank God for life.
I was speaking to Kali yesterday, and then he was like, "Oh, I have to go mow my lawn." I'm like, "Okay,
There we go.
That's the conversation
There we
that
go.
Move to a new place, Kali.
I don't shout online.
Because
No, but it's not. I don't like announcements, so that's why I didn't. But this guy's embarrassing me now.
I'm not embarrassing you. Like it's a big thing, bro.
Massive
right.
congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Massive
to you, man. Like it's
it
a
was
big
due.
thing,
No,
bro.
it was.
What do you mean it was
It
due?
was well due. See,
We're putting due date on his head.
the
Or
Kali
what?
I know,
Yeah.
his wife has been pressuring him that Kali, we need to move out of this house.
No, but Kali, I have a
Follow
big
me, I'll
question
stay
for
there.
you. Do you still sleep on the floor?
See, sleeping on the floor is something.
Because I know that
even if you change location, it's nothing you can't take away from me.
Oh, so you
I have
sleep on
I
the
have my
floor?
own space, but I have no bed there. But for now, I still sleep on the floor. It's just that the way I wake up from the ground is faster than those that sleep on the bed.
How so?
When I wake up, I'm ready. Sometimes I might scream. Let me tell you, sometimes
Who is
you know.
chasing you, bro?
No. But sometimes I just scream, Jesus. I'm already late for stand up.
Are you serious?
So you're still late, even if you're still on the floor.
It's kind of funny. But
Solomon, what are you saying?
Hey,
bro?
massive congrats on that, brother.
no, thank you, brother. I
Big
appreciate
thing. There's a lot. We'll talk about a little bit more what you need to be focused on, but yes, sir.
Siobhan, just come. I know if you just see me, just be like, this is what I need to do so that you not get. I like that. I like that advice too.
I
Yeah,
got you,
yeah,
man. There's certain things you just got to make sure you're ready for.
Okay,
That's all.
Nice.
That's all.
What are you saying, Solomon?
Not too much. Work as usual. Just trying to keep up with the busy market.
Nice.
Nice.
I need people who wants to sell their houses because now it's like easy cash for listing agents. So if I'm going to be selling someone's house, I don't have to do that much work, but at the same time I still have to put in the regular work that I need to do to get the house.
So it's different when it's a seller's market.
Yes, when it's a seller's market, now I have to go above and beyond to actually find a buyer. Now buyers are coming to the sellers. So
Nice.
I need.
What do you mean buyers are coming to seller? Is it like directly?
No, like
Okay.
bidding wars. Like you're seeing
Bidding
10
wars.
to 14 offers on one house and prices just going off.
So
Wow.
the problem, I was gonna say problem. So the challenge you're having, that's the word to use, never problem, challenge.
Yeah.
So the challenge you're having is other agents and their clients over a particular place. So then you are bidding with them.
Yeah, so like either ways, we're still always going to be like in a bidding war, depending on the side that you're on. So if I'm on the buyer's side, I'm definitely going to be in like a bidding war right now.
Big time.
But if I'm on the seller side,
Oh yeah, you're laughing.
exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I mean from the buyer's
I see.
perspective. The
From the
seller
buyer's
side,
perspective, yeah.
the seller's always winning in terms of this market right now. I'm talking from the
Exactly.
buyer's perspective. You being an agent for somebody and you have a client, then the challenge must be like, yo, you're also fighting against 3-4 other agents who are trying to close with their clients.
Definitely.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Definitely. So like literally, within the past week, I've lost out on 2 offers.
Yeah.
From like with one same client, and then I had like another client call me like the same last week saying, oh, he's scared of getting into the market again, and I had to do my stuff as to calming him down and let him know that don't worry.
Why you
got
take him out to dinner, bro? Establish the connection, man. Of course, like
So I wanna
literally, bro.
I'll use your own money and pay for you to.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
No,
That
it's,
makes sense.
The best salespeople,
it's
like-
going to be
like-
like it's
Take
going
him
to
out,
be
but they take best one.
an expense, but like taking someone out to
It doesn't change the thing.
dinner doesn't
It doesn't
change
It doesn't
anything.
change anything, but then I believe that it builds.
You should be
some
taking the
sort
seller out
confidence.
of for dinner, and not the person that wants to buy, because there will still be more of those people. You get it?
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah,
then anybody that is skeptical about something,
Yeah.
that,
You're right, I am.
that they're not aware of it just because they don't have confidence or they don't necessarily
Yeah.
trust. So I believe what you should do is build the trust and build that
build the
connection
trust
with them first.
and build the rapport. So
Everything is a process too.
definitely. So with me, it's more of just saying, oh, like there's a way I kind of build confidence in people and just letting them know that everything is under control. And then after that, it's now a more of building a relationship with them. So I'm supposed to go and see the man and his daughter and like his whole family sometimes next week, just to build that like relationship, that face-to-face relationship.
You
as
guys
well.
going to play golf or what?
Well, I don't.
Stop this, Thomas.
You need to walk in there. You need to
Big
walk in there. Yeah. And,
Big week, like
Which big week?
a
What
whole
happened in
lot
the week?
happened
What
during
happened
the
in the
week. Like trust me, of course, spillover from last week.
What happened to Philip?
The biggest guy on cable news. I don't know if you know Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was big.
Okay.
Yeah, he got fired
Yes.
by Maddock. And on Monday or on Tuesday, Pat offered him $100 million, bro. I'm
That
serious.
was huge.
Wait, Pat offered him $100 million for what?
Like contract
Come work for his company.
to come and work for
think
Valitainment.
Pat-
For Valitainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, come work for Valitainment. Like
Hold on.
that's
You think parties?
Pat's not a joke though.
I know, but like I'm just trying to like think about like what aspect of Pat's like of
What?
Valitainment
No,
does
so-
he need him for?
No, so
No.
like he'll just have his own show.
Oh, on
Yeah,
Valitainment.
and again, Pat is,
Valitainment is a brand.
Valitainment is a brand.
Yeah.
as well.
Yes.
Okay, now I can.
And then
know
you know,
shit.
like parties as well, like conservative.
Yeah.
So it's so like they're moving in the same way. But yeah, like Tucker is here to respond. I know that Tucker has been doing like a couple of interviews here and there. I saw he did one with Tulsi Gabbard, which was actually very,
see that
very
one.
good. Nah, trust me, it was good, man. Like he spoke a lot about Trump, and then how Trump got him, thinking and all. And then they started leaking debts about him. Like that's actually it's actually a playbook. Once they let go of you, they begin to release debts about you. It's the same thing they do with Meghan Kelly.
But you know what's funny about that? But you know what's funny about that thing?
Have to protect themselves. So they're gonna.
I think
Yeah, the company has to protect
She
themselves.
has been in the.
Yeah,
You have been in the enterprise.
well, I've been in corporation. I know I understand how corporation works, man.
Siobhan, you look as if you have been in CIA before, so probably you probably understand how those. Because you know what's funny?
Everything is a chess game, man.
The camera is always
yeah.
rolling. Once you walk into the studio, right? Because one time I went to the CBC one, for when we were doing with company I worked for before. I didn't know that camera is always rolling. Camera.
So anything you say,
See, so they just take the part for the show and put it. So the camera is always rolling.
damn.
So because that was why when they attacked his house and they told it, they called him and his wife. So I'm like, how did they have the video? So they just have the video of him. It wasn't on set. It wasn't ready yet. They just have the video of him replying the wife. I'm like, was this thing a skit or what?
No.
But
Speaking of
camera
CIA,
is always
yeah.
rolling. Yeah.
Speaking of CIA, so like I don't know, he did an interview with Happy Dad, sorry, Nelk Boys. That's Full Send.
Which one is happy?
Couple
Dad?
of no. So the Happy Dad is the their drink brand.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you meant happy.
And
Dad
then you
as
know
someone.
what? So, bro, this guy literally said that the NSA was actually monitoring, his conversations because he had planned to go interview Putin. This was sometime last year.
Wanted to interview Putin?
Trust me, man. And they just told him, "We know you want to go and interview Putin. Don't go."
Will he die?
Bruh,
I don't think that will
we've seen the JFK files. These guys have no limits.
I don't think they'll kill
I'll
him.
just leave it there.
Just leave it there, please.
I don't want to get into anybody's.
Just leave it there, please.
Podcast, but I've not grown the podcast. So that it's not tomorrow morning Chevron. There will be Chevron's door. But when Chevron come out with a suit, they'll be like, let's go meet this guy.
I'm not here for this. I'll tell you right now. I'm not here for this.
Chevron is like, once Chevron comes, Chevron come out with a suit first of all.
No. There's no way they're going to pick it, They're going to pick him.
They will pick you and this guy over. So they may pick you last.
Well, still on tech and still on the tech crunch that's going on. Your guys, Shopify, they still let go 2K people, bro.
But you're supposed to know why that happened, man.
Which one? The 2K people.
See, let me tell you. Wokeism will be the end of tech company. Because you know why? During that Black Lives Matter time, during the time they had the COVID time, they wanted to prove we're the best of the best. Remember, they overtook LBC as the best company in Canada. Okay, fine. The point is, I think Elon Musk just proved to us that you don't need all these people to work on the
Listen,
product.
Elon Musk fired
18,000.
80% of Twitter staff.
So
like the
do
company
you need
actually
that?
running on
Do you need that
20%.
much people to do those? So they became this diversity hire that started happening at that point of George Floyd. Which some of the companies are trying to cover their ass. Shopify was one of them. Shopify was one of the companies in 2017 that didn't do the diversity report that CBC wanted them to do. I still have that article with me. I followed it bomber to bomber. There was graph about it. They were one of the companies that rejected. And that company that closed, I think it's Stamming Clubs. They didn't do it. Those companies, you could see they're trying to save
100%. Save face.
Yeah. But now that we're no more in that phase of that Black Lives Matter.
Of course.
So they have to find.
They have to find a way again
course,
of like,
of
let's
course.
offload all these.
Of course, into the market.
And they
If
will
I'm working in that place, I will not come to the morning because I know what to happen. So I'll just. Funny. You know how bad that thing is?
What?
Sometimes you don't even know on the Friday.
But yeah.
On the Monday, you just open your laptop. It is
Bro,
locked.
you don't have
You have to
connectivity,
understand.
bro.
You have to understand job security. Never security. There's no security in job security. Bro. That's just facts.
That's actually true.
Job security. There's no job. Nothing called job security, man. It's a total different wavelength era that we're in right now.
Except you're doing your own thing.
That is different.
Yeah,
that is different. You know what I mean?
As in, I believe like that's like the only security that you have because they could literally just come in the meeting and then we tell you, oh yeah, like we just have to let you go.
They will not tell you in the meeting.
Business. No. I'm just saying like they just jump in a meeting with you, and they just thought, like we just have to let you go. It's a business decision. No,
Yep.
and then boom, you're out, bro.
That's private companies.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like public people, companies that are under like pensions, unions, and stuff like that.
No, you can't do that.
You can't just
you
roll
can't
up
do
and
that
say,
yeah,
"We'll
with a
let you
union.
go." It doesn't work
No,
like that.
you must go through the union.
You have to go through.
have to.
For private companies. Oh,
No,
yeah.
but
But
who have
listen,
been the guys doing the layoffs?
No, those guys they're not unionized.
No, of course. Like I'm just saying, the guys
like
doing
the
the
likes of
layoffs are
Shopify.
private companies.
Shopify
Like, they
would
just-
never want to have a unionized offer because
listen,
they know what will happen.
No company.
If you have a company, would you want to have a union?
I will.
Why?
Because you know what happens?
What?
There's a return of employees most times with a unionized company.
Okay.
Because what happens is, before they even let a job go outside, it circulates almost all the department. The
circulate
union
everybody.
must do that.
Yes.
They must prove
Seniority has to be circulated.
They must
before
prove that
they
no
go
one can do
anyways.
it. L'Oreal
Yes.
has a good union.
So
Okay. So that's what you see.
if they're in
Yeah.
the union and they realize that nobody can't do it at all, what they're asking for in this role, then they look
Exactly.
outside.
Yes.
But if somebody in there can, seniority first, man.
They must give that.
They
should.
not that they
Yes,
must give,
yes.
they will go through the due diligence
Yes,
of
due
the
diligence,
interviews and so forth. If no one qualifies, then they look elsewhere.
They must prove it though.
Who's that?
They must prove that no one qualifies.
Yes, they have to show that someone qualifies, and then they look elsewhere. So it's
Well, like if you have like a union, then you as the like the head of the company, then you lose a certain amount of power.
But that's the point now.
there's benefits with the union, man. There's some benefits to it because you definitely have certain credibility with the people that are there,
That is it for sure.
right? And the knowledge and so forth that is there, that is invested in experiences, man, you can't buy that because most folks that are in union stuff, they don't want to jump ship.
Yeah.
That's true.
Meaning a company, private company, that somebody comes to me and say, "Yo, I'll give you an extra 20K." In a private company, your mind's like, "All right, peace, I'm out." But in a union, you understand that you vested so much,
Yeah.
money inside, the pension that is there, that is guaranteed. You don't want to leave sort of a union spot to go to a private place.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the benefits you have. The disadvantage with it, though, you do lose some power.
Yeah.
In some capacity because you have to filter everything through,
Which is good.
the union, which is
In a place like with Florida University,
Yeah.
And the place like I think UW probably does, but in a place like that, the people that work there are sound.
Yo, but you have good apples and bad apples, bro.
For sure.
You have some men who milk it, that they do the
Everywhere.
bare minimum.
Definitely.
I know you can't let them
But
go.
you can't
like
let
that.
them go.
You can't let them go.
Because the process is very long.
The process is
Yeah,
very long.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Last time Siobhan was here,
yes,
I don't know. Like we did not do the due diligence of him, of him letting us know his background, a little bit.
That's very
man.
That was because we just
You guys
flew
just jumped into
so
the
like,
main.
no. So like we started the podcast outside, and then we just
jumped into it.
threw it in.
It was,
So,
like,
man,
it was
like-
it was a heated podcast. It was good, man.
Yeah.
That podcast could go
I
for 5
honestly-
hours.
Boy.
It could go for that.
I honestly don't even know so much about you.
Yes.
But then like if you can just take us through your background a little bit, let
For
us
sure,
let
man.
us know a little bit what
For sure.
what
And
growing
I-
up was like.
Yeah, and I'm going to
know.
give you just a little bits and pieces and
Yeah.
give you an idea as to why I am the way I am, man.
Nice.
So obviously born, raised in Jamaica, man. Been there, left there when I was 17. So just a little bit more what happened in Jamaica. So for me, was raised by a single mom with my brother. And I'm not going to say things was rosy. But I don't want to sit here and be a victim to say things was like, oh my God, dire
Tough,
and
yeah.
tough. It was tough in some aspect of it, but what it taught me and what I seen is just the roller coaster of events of life that my mom went through as a single mom. And in a lot of ways, there's two choices I had. It was either I could say, yo, this is life. God dealt this to me. Let me just be sour about it. Or I look at the flip side and say, you know what? My mindset is do whatever it is possible to make sure that my mom don't have to struggle like this.
Yep.
And that my family don't need to struggle like this. So, in a lot of ways growing up, man, I had a good time with friends, went to school, went to high school, went to colleges there, which was great. And during that course from a young dude to that, there was tough times. There's been a time then where me and my brother one night, one slice of bread sliced in two, and that was like, hey, this is dinner.
Damn.
Get up the next day, it's like, all right, let's wait until our neighbor leaves so we can go fill some bucket of water so we can shower. You know what I'm saying? Because we had no water for some time.
That's deep.
when everybody else around us had lights, we had no lights in our home and we had to study under the candlelight. You know what I'm saying? So that type of mindset and the hustle, man, really, really developed a certain maturity in me real fast. You know, I remember when I knew things were a little tough for my mom, where I had to be like, all right. I went to a church that was literally around the corner from us, and I said, all right, this is where my entrepreneur instinct kicked in. I think I was 14. I was like, okay, what am I good at that I can actually put to the table and try to help my mom in some way? I know I made the body soup. I'm going to let y'all know that. When it comes to Jamaican soup, none of y'all can touch me. So I went around, get some funds around the place, and I say, okay, let me go to the market. Let me get some pumpkin, some corn, some yam, get some flour, some dumplings, some tomato, some thyme, some pepper, everything, whatever the case would be, and made a bad pumpkin soup, boss. Bad. With some nice pieces of chicken and everything in it. And then I would go by the church. When they come out and everybody, I'll be selling my little
Are you
soup.
serious?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
$5
You
a
know,
cup.
I didn't expect that.
Hey.
I didn't expect that ending.
Listen,
I thought you were gonna...
nah. Make my soup big. And, you know, shout out to the church, JBC, Jamaica Bible Church, Jamaica, man. They gave me the kitchen the opportunity to say, no, do your thing, young man. I see you doing what you're doing.
Nice. Fantastic.
And I got a big pot right in front of the
Outside,
church.
eh?
Outside in the church, cooking, brother. And when church done,
Man's a hustler, bro.
fill up the soup and say, hey, here you go. And get my little $30. And then go ahead and say, Mom, hold on upon this. Let's go. You know, let's get some food going. Do what you need to do. Go to work. Hustling from that time. You know what I mean? But those experiences was a maturity. And I don't look back at those experiences and say, oh, that was tough. I look up at it and say, man, yes, there were some challenges in it. Challenges, keyword, man. But boy, the way how it shaped me, how it shaped my mentality. Let my mindset understand that, yo, nothing can break you. You just always got to look ahead.
Yeah.
As long as I say, listen, I learned from Byron Morgan, I think that's his name. Oh, I have to get a name for y'all. But he said something that's so good. He said to succeed, man, it takes focus. But here's the deal with focus. Focus is broken into two things. It's either you focus on what you're intentional about or you focus on what you're distracted about. You know what I'm saying?
I like that one.
It's either whatever distracts you, if you're focused on what distracts you, you can't reach.
But you're still focused.
But you're still focused on your distract. All right, brother, you get it. But if you're focused on what you're intentional about, you'll get to success. Man, when I heard that, man, I was like, yo, mindset, focus, and all I saw, just like when the horses, the jockeys, just tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing the horses. Anyway.
Tunnel vision, brother. I had no time for distractions. And then one day, man, I was just kicking back, me and my mom, and we were just, doing our thing. And tutus, when I hear tutus in Jamaica, it just means, hey, all of a sudden. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So Jamaicans say tutus. But all of a sudden, man,
I just say 1-2. 1-2.
So-
We're not saying any 1-2, but at least that's so that they miss. Don't want it to miss
I'm
us
hearing
again,
you, bro.
beg.
I'm hearing you, bro. Go ahead.
We
Let's
guys
go,
want
man.
to.
I got this FedEx truck just popped up at our house. And, mind you, FedEx at my place? I don't used to that nonsense. Like FedEx. We all used to FedEx truck at everybody else's house pull up. It pulled up at my spot. The guy came out and he gave my mom an envelope. I was like, Mom, what's that? My mom opened it up. She looked at the letter. Tears coming down her eyes. Our dad applied for us papers to come straight home to Canada. Nice. Let me tell you something, brother. That's when mindset just clicked. Because I know that once I touch the soil here, I ain't playing no games. I'm not coming here to look pretty and just try to have assets that is on me instead of mine. So let me flip that around. I'm not coming here to build liabilities, man. I'm trying to be an asset in my own right and to build asset for my family and my generations to come. Scripture says a wise man, brother, build an inheritance, not for the next generation, but for 2 generations.
When you go to Canada, like, where was the first place like you landed? Like,
Maple, Ontario. You know where Woodbridge is?
I know Woodbridge,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Maple, Ontario. All right. Let me tell you
Why
something.
Maple?
No, not me, brother. That's what my dad chose.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Best decision. Best decision ever. And I'm glad he did what he did. Because my dad was thinking way ahead. Because when he bought a house in Maple, it was just bush. Just cornfields, man. Nothing developed in Woodbridge, nothing.
I like that.
And he bought a spot.
I like that.
And his mindset was like, yo, when my boys come, I'm not trying to have them come into a community that's thinking base level. He wants to put us in a community where we can see excellence. What other communities and other nations and races have achieved and what I can achieve. And what was great about that, man, when I came in Maple, thick accent of Jamaica, like when I say patois, it was rough. But here's the thing though, I understood that, in order for me to navigate in this community, I need to flip this Canadian side real quick. And I sat down 2 weeks in my house, not going anywhere, and I just listened to the news, how they talk, the culture, and understand the tongue.
Okay.
And then for me, I became diversified. When I'm with the Canadians, I'm bloody hell a Canadian. Hey, when I'm with the Jamaican, I'm a real yardie. You know what I'm talking about?
Me too.
Yeah, yard man, man.
Man, a yard man when it comes to the yardie. My mindset was that, listen, when I approach and I'm somewhere, I don't need anyone to look at me
Different.
I need you to look at me as an equal. Because when I'm coming at you, I'm coming at you. And the unfortunate thing is, let's not be ignorant, man.
It's still gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But the mindset was like, affiliate myself in the community that allows me to sort of see what's going on, how they play their chess game, how they look at money, what they thought the purpose of money is. Total different. I'm going to touch on it a little bit. I think I talked to you already, Solomon. How they saw money, how they interact with it. Man, listen, man. When I was growing up, the only way I understand how money was, money's purpose for how I grew up was to pay bills.
True.
That's all the purpose of money was.
Yeah,
you go work, you get it, you pay bills. Bro, in the communities that are escalating, money is not to pay bills, bro. Their mindset is like, let me get this money to make more money. How can I make this flip? How can I make this triple? How can I make this double?
Yeah.
When I understand these two levels, and I'm glad that he put me in Maple because then I was associated with the guys who had parents who owned businesses.
Who own farms.
Farms. Yeah. Some owned like a flowers like area. Rosary. Yeah, there we go, Rosary. Yeah. Some guys owned like a mill. You know what I mean? Like
a mill.
Man, like car dealerships.
You were in the farm, the countryside.
Yeah, it was stop this, man. But when I got there though, they were developing a lot more than when my dad was there. He was just thinking ahead. But when I got there, man, bro, what I seen, how some of these guys, watch this, which was crazy. Me and this dude graduated at the same time. This man graduate, I graduate. I'm looking for a job the next 3 months. This man graduate, walk into a brand new house.
Inheritance.
Not even that inheritance, because the parents are still alive. Not really inheritance.
Oh, no inheritance.
But the strategies that these guys had on them since he was a baby. But. They were doing something called the infinite banking. So they were funding a policy, and I'll teach you guys a little bit. When I learned this hack,
we need board, yeah.
Bro,
get a board. Yeah,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you the hack. Watch the hack. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to go much into that. When we get there, we get there. But the hack was crazy and how we explained it. And I've been reading upon it. And that's something that this is where you build generational crazy stuff, man. As a child, the parent says, okay, we're gonna get this vehicle, which is the insurance. Now, there's different type of insurance. I'm going to let you know this. There's one that you can actually use for your benefit as a bank. The strategy that they did that when he was a baby, they invested in it from 0 years old. So by the time he got to like 19, that is 19 years of compounding money over time.
Over time, yeah.
The big thing is they're not pulling that money. The money that's in there that's compounding over time, it is kept there up to this day. But they borrowed against it. So once that money grew to like 80,000 in there, guess what they did? They just did a policy loan, 50 grand. Company just writes them a check, tax-free. They just take that check, buy a house.
Buy a house for the kid.
But guess what? The 80 grand that's in the policy, still compounding. Damn. So by the time he's retired, a couple millions, tax-free in that money. The money that they've took out to buy the house, once equity goes up, take the equity out, pay back the loan. And that money has grown. He's his own bank. Come on, y'all don't understand the game out here, man. I'm telling you something right now, bro.
Wrong goal.
No. That's
Listen, y'all don't understand the game, brother.
you're working with financial
game,
encyclopedia.
For me, once I'm usually zoned in, I ultimately keep quiet. Like I generally don't have anything to say because I just want to always listen.
You know what I'm going to answer.
No. Of course now.
We were still buying something for Walmart.
Nah, man. And
telling
but
you,
trust
man.
me, like
Yeah.
I am
telling
so
you,
I'm so like I actually know that you still have so much to talk about with regards to your background.
Yeah.
But then I know that you've started getting into the money stuff.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
And trust me,
I didn't
like,
mean
I
to,
want us,
but I had
I want us to dive into the money stuff.
Wait, if I dive to the money stuff.
Wait, man.
But Siobhan, you made a good point because
Yes, sir.
environment is everything.
My guy.
Because as you mentioned that, it's similar to when I got here too, right? If I was kind of in the city, which was what I was driving for, right? The people that came with me that were arrived together, you know, it's a whole different process. They landed in the city. They took them to the city. The guy that was kind of our, I would say, kind of mentor, he looked at me, I'll take you to this house. That's what he said. And he took those guys to the city. So he's like, you're traveling from let me say, it's the countryside, to be sincere. You're traveling from the countryside to the city just to have fun. And there was this envy, but sometimes there's no envy because in the weekend when you try to sit down to do like schoolwork, you're very focused.
Yes, sir. Locked in.
Because the only thing you hear is the bird. Maybe one or two animals. Everything, there's no distraction.
Locked in.
You know? So I was wondering if, let's say you were in somewhere around North York. I don't know how I don't want to, how would that story be?
Let me just say limitations. Because I wouldn't be able to see and understand the different strategies that other communities have been doing. You know, unfortunately, and I know we're going to touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our community, financial education is not a thing that is preached.
Yep.
No. Thank goodness now we're, especially our generation now, we're getting a little bit
Flipping it.
smarter to be like, hold up. Nah, man, everybody else around us can't be moving like this, and we're like this still. What is actually out there? So we're asking the right questions now.
Yeah.
We're now looking not on price. We're looking at value now.
That's true.
Solomon know exactly what I'm talking about right there.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're looking at value now. So now we're asking the right question. That's why we're now making a different progress in terms of before. Like if I was landing in North York, man, it'll be Timberlands, long tees,
Man,
baggy pants.
listen.
You know those. I can't even see myself, but if that's where I was,
you might change your name
maybe
to
that's what I've been in my trend. You know
You
what I'm
might change your
saying?
name to, Javon Trayon or something.
Listen, when I was in Woodbridge, all I saw was men in dress pants and khaki pants and straight tight jeans. You know what I'm saying? So their approach and the presentation was always a bit different.
Yeah.
And I learned that presentation. You know what I mean?
That's actually nice because I was wondering whether you felt, because
If I felt out of place,
as a young person being in that place, because I felt the same way. You feel like,
It feel different.
this place is not bubbling,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know if you went to the city too or at the same time, or maybe from that Jamaica you have locked your mind.
you're forgetting. You're forgetting what my mindset was when I came here.
Well, you said that already, yeah.
My mindset was not to come and bubble, brother.
The problem is you live in Lagos already. You live in Lagos and then you're coming here to come and look for another Lagos.
My guy, you know, I had an experience of eating a slice of bread for dinner, man. I had no time for bubbling out. My mindset was like, yo, how can I? Now, mind you, I'm not at a place where I want to be yet, but I'm building. You're building.
That was at 17.
Because when you get to where you need to be, you're smiling. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So my mindset was a bit different when I came, man. So, shout out to my dad, man, Roderick Smalley, man. You did an incredible job getting us in Maple, man. You
Shout out to him, bro.
You taught, you showed, even though he wasn't, versed in a lot of things, but at least he showed
laid the
me
foundation.
the foundation and the blueprint.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I just ate food. There's three things. This thing he always said, always said. I mean, and I've kept it to this day, and I can't believe I'm still doing it this day and still repeating it. I'm sure you guys have heard it. 3 types of people in this world, man. There's a foolish man who never learns from his mistake. Never. There's a smart man that learns from other people's mistake.
Other people's mistake.
But the wise man learns from other people. So the smart man learns from his mistake. Sorry.
Yes.
But the wise man learns from a next man's mistake. So if I see you doing something like, that ain't for me. You're making wise moves. You stay far. You're making wise moves, man. Wise moves.
Nah.
Because this kind of, the way you're getting tickets now, my brother, I'm staying far.
That's still far from me, right?
Stay far, man.
So I have this article. Yeah, of course. Like we're going writing already. Like he's already doing the money talk.
So what has given us financial?
He's already doing the money talk. You know.
Like, he has gone deep into
So like
I've gone deep already?
I have
No, it's not gone deep. But don't say that.
At all, bro.
Gone deep like we all.
So I have this article from Brookings. So it's titled "The Black-White Wealth Gap Left Black
Why do you want to go
Household
there?
Yeah, boy.
More vulnerable."
Yeah, boy.
So I'm just going to go to the to the middle where it talks about wealth inequality preceding COVID-19. It says in 2019, the median white household held $188,200 in wealth, 7.8 times of the typical black household, which is 24,100.
Wow.
Listen, it is worth noting, of course, like the levels of average wealth, which is more heavily skewed by households with great amounts of wealth, are higher. Now, white household reported average wealth of 983,400, which is 6.9 times of the black household, which is 142,500. So the disparity is insane. Now, I'm not usually the person that would say, "Oh, the disparity is just solely because of race and because of." For me, I believe it's a multivariate, it's a multivariate equation. Like there are so many things that compound into that. So, but why you guys are holding that thought, I then went ahead to look at some of the debts that people owe: student loans, mortgage loans, credit card loans, and trust me, man, our people. Listen, bro. Let me see it here. So, like, if you look at credit card debt and income, I'm trying to see where I highlighted it. Okay, so let me just go to student loans and race.
Student loan is not a joke.
Listen, black degree holders have an average of $27,260,000 in undergraduate.
27,000?
27,000?
An average.
That's not bad.
An average.
Yeah, that's decent.
Of our student debt, Hispanic have 25,676. Asians have 25,670. Then white, borrowers have 21,000. And native.
But
native
that must be in
Americans-
America, right?
Of course, no. So this stats are for the US. These stats are for the US. When you look at credit scores as well, it's also not funny for our people. These numbers, they're not smiling. Like, I'll just be honest with you. But then I think where we're going to start, the conversation really is this
What are the
wealth
causations?
disparity. Yes, because I always like to start from what
are the
is
causations?
causing all
Yeah,
of
what's
this
causing it?
Before we begin to provide solutions, because you cannot provide solutions to
Without
what
knowing the problem. Yeah, product manager, that's your bread and butter. What is the problem?
But then,
Yes.
like I said, most of the time we try to link race and.
But you
wealth
can't leave it out,
disparity.
though.
You can't leave. No, of course you can't leave it out. But then,
But it shouldn't be number one.
hold
Wait.
on. Hold on.
Why can't you leave it out?
No, you can't leave it out now.
Can't leave it out, Baba now. What's
Can't
that?
leave
No,
it out.
no,
This
no,
is like
no, no,
inheritance.
It's
no,
a
no,
visibility
wait,
now.
It is there.
No, wait.
It is
So
there, but you can't leave it out.
Wait. So, are you trying to blame race for
Okay, no,
somebody
let me tell you why.
Somebody not having.
No,
a
let me tell you why.
system
Let me tell you why.
of-
Chevron
of-
said
of
it.
cash.
Chevron
or
said
what?
it. Let me tell you why. Let me give you a typical example. Chevron probably knows. See, I told you before. James gave an example of someone he went to school with. Same team, similar. The police college. Finish. The person, I think probably 20. She became an OPP in less than 2 months. Right? Their things lay down. And that person again, they get married. They already have a plot of land from 1945. Lay down already. So when this is not your land. So if you're coming,
That's one.
That's one.
Good.
So coming into a place
So
that's not yours.
That's not
No, relax
race
first.
though. That's not race. Do you
No, relax
understand
first.
that?
Yes, you have a point. in
What
that
I'm
one.
trying to say is that
Okay.
you cannot just that's like see,
You cannot just.
what I'm trying to say is you cannot blame it on just race, but you cannot
cannot
also
take it
I
out.
don't even
race
think
out.
you should even blame race in the first place.
Okay, well,
I
explain
think
your-
you
explain
can
your
take it out.
point, 'cause let me see what you're
Reason being
saying.
is basically I think it's all about financial education, right? You can't blame a white man's child for owning a plot of land, and then because you just came from your own country and you don't have access to that,
No, Solo.
you can't blame them
So,
for that. I think it's
Solo,
all about
Solo, what you're saying.
the
What you're saying is
financial
very.
understanding.
He has some. What you're saying, you're lacking some knowledge. I'll tell you why.
Please do.
Solo, remember I said Chevron that if Chevron moved to North York, the
Yeah.
story we're hearing is going to be different. Hold on,
I wanted
let me
to
hold on,
point-
hold
I
on,
wanted to
hold on,
point
hold
on
on,
that
hold
as
on,
well,
hold on,
because
let me
I
finish.
think
Hold on,
if you had that,
Have you lived in any of this place before?
if you had the mindset,
No, have you lived in any of this place before? Okay, let me tell you something.
Hold on. Let me touch on that because I know where it was going.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I would have the mindset, but it'd take me much more years.
to get there.
More time.
Where I was placed,
But you get it though.
accelerated because I see
In the environment.
Exactly.
So,
I mean,
so
environment.
that's exactly
That's the difference.
that's exactly what I was saying because you don't
difference.
understand something, man. Chevron. We're looking at two different kind of black people here. Wait, Chevron is coming from a different country where, as he said, he walked away in hustle. These guys that were born here, they were born in North York, for example.
That's
They're
all
two
they
different things.
Okay.
different
And what they only know is North York.
That's it.
The high boots, the swag, the court, the gang and the stuff they do, right? So you now, for you, that person to elevate from that mindset to where
Okay.
Chevron is,
Yeah.
it needs to change environment.
Definitely.
Then
Or,
the question,
do some self-education.
what's
Yeah.
up? But here's
Yeah.
the question. Tell me how that person will change environment. Despite that's what that person have known from zero.
No, but then like
Yeah,
see,
but
that's
you
why I
can't still
say,
blame
hold
race
on,
on this, though.
Hold on.
I don't necessarily
No,
would blame
you
race.
can't.
No, but
you
I can't bring this. But look at it.
No, but you can't
But
take it away.
Coming from.
you know why I
Now,
can't take it away? You know why?
Kali,
Wait,
hold on.
one.
For that word disparity, yeah, this is why I say, okay, fine, yes, like I'm someone who does not like to blame race for anything. But truth of the matter is this: whether it's going to take you a short time, or it's going to take you a longer time. Sometimes it depends on what you look like. Yes, it could take you 10 years for you to achieve what if you look lighter, you could do it in 6 months. But you're persistent.
You
and
get my
will
point where I'm
there.
going to, yeah.
But then another thing again that I will blame for this wealth disparity is family construct. If you have a 2-parent household, I believe that both of you will bring in more money.
Well,
I do believe that.
But T, you see,
I do believe that.
I get everything you're saying. Say, Trevor, 1 second before you go.
Except you want to say
No, T.
it's
No.
it's
T.
on the other side.
I know why I'm still on that race. You know why?
Why? I know that
As
they've
in,
done you bad.
They've done Kali bad.
No. Yeah,
But yeah,
no. If for example, take a trip to the police. See, you work with the police before, and you understand how processes work here. You know why I'm saying that. See, that's why I asked you, have you lived in that environment? See, just me experiencing that environment a little bit when I came here, I knew why. For someone to escape from here, see, it takes a second person. That self-education, it takes that person must have a very
Yes.
self-consciousness must be really high.
Yes,
See, you know what I mean? You're born into
Self-awareness has to be
it's
really high
high.
to
Think
to
of
understand. Yeah, I agree with that.
Think of you're born into the Colombia, that place where Pablo Escobar was.
Yeah.
El Chapo
And that's
there.
all you know is go and murder.
yeah.
Go murder. See, you just wake up one morning, I want to escape. I want to start building wealth. No, it doesn't work like
It
that.
doesn't work. It's a. But here's the deal
Go ahead.
about this
Yeah.
this wealth gap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Solomon here
Yeah.
that financial literacy is key.
True.
Where the wealth gap is there. But here's the game that other generations been on that our people are so late for the game now. And it really and truly, life insurance.
That one you can't play with that.
Hold
one.
on,
Yeah,
boss.
you can't play with
Life insurance money is how them men's been transferring wealth. It sounds like, what are you talking about? Yes, it is. Because life insurance money is one of those things where grandma passed away, granddad passed away, the generation that they left behind is not starting from scratch. Money coming in. Either $1 million, 500,000, 300,000.
Money's coming in.
And it's coming in tax-free. And the white community has understand for decades the importance.
Saying decades or centuries, bro.
Centuries, the importance of insurance.
Facts.
You know what our people think about insurance? Oh, you're trying to kill me off. No.
Yeah.
That's what our parents used to. If you talk insurance to them, they're like, oh, well, I don't need insurance. Why? It's not for me. Why would I pay into something that's not for me? That's a selfish mentality.
That's true. Yeah.
You get insurance, man, for the inheritance you're planting for your family.
Investment.
After you, investment.
But then again, going back to the same thing, you can pass down wealth. Yeah? And then if your children or the people you're passing on to are not financially literate
Hold on.
as
What's the
well,
first thing I start off with?
It's
Financial literacy. That's the first thing I mentioned. And that, because why? When you get, listen, let me take you back in a household, how they work. Because I was in Maple, bro. I seen these movements firsthand. When grandma is sick, you know what everybody goes? They goes to the home where she is. And everybody are very nice to grandma. And the grandma is good. But once they hear grandma sick, everybody show up though. Because they know that once grandma or grandpa pass, you know what's coming in? Money.
Left and right.
Okay. So while grandma is alive, I want to be grandma's favorite. Because when she set up that beneficiary percentage, I'm getting a good chunk. Listen, man. And they have established the teaching of their kids in home. What you do with money, what you do with it, how you set it up, how you make it build, how you compound it, and yada, yada, yada. But once grandma passed away, and usually in movies, you see it good. Grandma is on the sick bed. Everybody around that bed just like, yo. Because they understand the importance of the inheritance that's coming.
Yeah.
And it's from insurance money, brother.
Yep.
And what they take from that now is to do what? Strategize and reinvest it. Now, what they do, they take that insurance money, they buy properties. They buy land. They buy index funds. They buy stocks. They start businesses. Because guess what? They're not starting from scratch like, oh, we are starting from scratch. Working from hard 3-4 jobs to make ends meet. No, these guys have a full inheritance come in so they can start a business right away.
Yeah.
That's how. When I tell people that insurance money, they're like, this insurance thing. Like, bro, this is how little your mind is. You're basic right now. You're not understand the concept of what other communities are doing. If you do, and you can look at it, if you do a ratio as to what ethnic groups have insurance, you're going to see how low we are.
Of course.
And how high everybody else is.
Of course, like we are low on every. Listen, man.
Let me shock you.
Anything financial, bro, we're low, bro.
Listen, man.
Siobhan, let me shock you about something about insurance you said. So there's an insurance company in town, right? And they have a lot of Nigerians in that insurance company. I don't want to mention their name. But you know why most people sign up for them? Because they have a 10-year cash out. So once Nigerians said, so 10 years I don't cash out this money, okay. So I see a lot of them disturb me for that, but obviously I'm like, okay, 10 years. If it was that cash out that made
if you have a policy that you're trying to cash out, then that's
what most people are
you're
trying
not
to do,
teaching
right?
it well. You need to be using it as a bank.
But guess what, Siobhan?
And that's a different thing.
If every black person had insurance, I think we won't kill ourselves.
Listen, let me tell you something.
But let's don't go there.
If our folks had the education to establish insurances, because there is term. Term is like you just pay money and it's gone. That's a different insurance. That's for like asset protection. Yeah. You have a home, you protect your home. You got debt, you protect the debt. Why? Because as the breadwinner, when you pass away, if you pass away, you want your family to progress. That's different.
Yeah.
Then there is the whole life and universal life. Depends on which one you believe in. That's where the bank comes in, where you use the vehicle as a way to strategize for yourself and your family while you're alive. It's different. It's not necessarily to protect assets. It's for you to build wealth. And once you learn how to do that, like other communities know, they've been banking.
They've been doing it,
I'm
bro.
telling you guys that it's what I'm in. I've seen this stuff. So what they've done, they've been passing on insurance money. And that insurance money has allowed them to buy farm, land, properties, businesses. That's what it has allowed them to do. Our families Unfortunately, if I talk to my dad, he probably have something small because he probably started later instead of younger. That's another thing. My guy, I have 2 kids. My 2 kids have a insurance on their lives already because I'm building a bank from young. When they get to the time to go to school, they have the RESP and they have the bank that I just buy a house out of that right away. You got to be smart in how you're moving with these. Anyways, that's a different story again. But that's why these guys are able to pass on wealth because they educate, they teach, and they take advantage of the vehicle. That's what's out there.
So sorry, I'm cutting you short.
No, that's fine.
This education, I don't want to believe it's not out there. It's out there.
It is out there.
It's out there. So why are we not taking it in?
Or is it a party?
Because, listen. You know why we're not taking it in? Oh, man, here it is, boss. I'm sorry for this.
Yeah.
Just break the table.
Oh, man. Here is why we're not taking it in.
Yeah.
We look at price, not value. That's our problem. Because when someone says it's $200, you know, look at, hey, that's a little bit tough out of my pocket every month.
But then you spend the $200 on Hennessy, bro. You spend the $200 on Nike shoes.
Exactly.
On Nike shoes, bro.
I saw a thing. No, I'm
serious, man.
Listen, when it comes to
someone that goes to buy perfume.
Okay, so listen, when it comes to the finance stuff, I get a little bit passionate because I see this stuff.
Yeah.
When the assets you have, and I heard this from a story a couple days ago, and I had to put it on my story because it makes sense. And I said, yo, this is what I've been trying to talk about. When the assets you have is you're wearing it or is on your ass, you have a problem. If that asset is worth more than what you have as a current asset in your account, you have a problem.
That one is dangerous.
You can't be having an asset that deteriorates every single friggin' day.
Yeah.
Once you leave the store.
Once you leave the store.
Bro.
Are you crazy? Bro, you're wearing an asset.
To impress someone.
That's to do what? That's depreciating. We should be putting that damn asset to work. That's the game. That's the disparity, man, between our thinking and other people thinking. And then when I sit with folks and I'm trying to give them game, they're like, oh, man, you're just trying to sell me something. Brother, sell you something. I'm trying to educate you.
I'm trying to help
I'm trying to get you to the next level. That when you get 10 years down the line, 15 years, you're not like, oh, man, I should have done this. No, because you're looking at price. Well, you need to look at this value. When you get in 15 years down the line, down the line, you know what you're doing? You're your own bank. You go to your own self and take money out.
Take money from your own bank.
Free. And then take that money, flip it, and then whatever you make, put it back to pay it off while the money is still building. So when you get to retirement, you're laughing because you got 6 figures. Easy. And then guess what? You still don't take it out. You just borrow. Because why? When you pass away, you know who gets that money? Your kids.
Them kids.
Easy money for them, tax-free, generational.
But you're hitting some things that this young
Come
man
on,
here
man.
is streaming fat.
Come
but
on, man.
here's the thing, Trevon.
Come on now, man.
Our people are not ready to work together.
Let me apologize about the excitement and the passion.
No.
When it comes to
bro.
this stuff from me,
No, it's what it is,
man,
bro.
But I think you if you're not passionate about it, and that means you're someone that you're looking at the community and saying,
Yeah, boy.
we should have been here, but we're here.
why are we here?
Yeah. And what you're saying, because you know why you say price? Just for people to bring some money out. See, you understand what I mean?
No, talk about yourself.
My guy, you have to
Talk
be
about
looking.
you, Roxy.
Hey,
Wait. No.
Talk about you, bro.
Talk about myself.
No. See, in this example you want to see, just say, oh, I'm talking about myself.
Okay, let's talk about myself. Okay, yeah. But yeah, it is, Siobhan. I think even apart from what you're saying, just for people to invest in themselves. Our people, they lack one thing. Everything you said boils down to one thing I noticed about these people.
Yes.
For the longest time in here.
Yes.
Collaboration with each other. They don't work alone. Am I lying? Siobhan, am I lying?
They don't work alone,
But our
brother.
people, everyone here, this guy, you
Individual, really, like,
don't tell
what
me.
you said
Okay.
is 100% correct. This individualistic mindset. Let me do it by myself. Oh, no. That's like the lack of collaborations. And again, like, I don't just think it is between, black
Africans?
people here. Like, it is between black people everywhere. Like, in general, like, I don't know. Somewhat in Africa, we still have that.
But
that
it wasn't
communal
our
mindset.
culture. You get what I mean? Because what you're doing right now is what I bet you I know about 15 people that have similar knowledge, but guess what? The thing you're doing, they will never do it.
No, but trust me.
The gatekeeping.
You also know
gatekeeping.
Yes.
No.
That's the
Which
word.
drive me
Gatekeeping
crazy.
is this thing. Like you're hoarding the knowledge, bro.
You're gatekeeping.
This one I've locked it.
For what?
It's not, you can't open it.
But hold on. I want to touch on individualism stuff. Individualist stuff they're talking about. The man that I sit back and watch, and I respected his game. Now, mind you, he worked hard. Kevin Hart. I'm going to tell you why. Kevin Hart came into the comedic atmosphere industry doing his thing. And he made himself known. But Kevin Hart said, yo, I want to be a mogul. I want to elevate. I want to be a star. If you watch Kevin Hart's movies, the one that really pop off,
Yeah.
you know what this guy does?
What do you do?
Becomes the second act.
Oh yeah, he's never the lead. Yeah.
He has connected himself like someone like who?
Like
Dwayne
Rock.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Who is like,
DJ.
okay, a big deal.
Of course.
So I'm like, all right, no worries. You do
You
it.
be
You be
the main
star.
actor.
But if I just attach myself with you, you know what's going to happen? People are going to understand that, oh, The Rock and Kevin. So now Kevin Hart understands that he's not The Rock, but he's in people's mind,
of course,
on
of
their
course,
tongue.
of course.
He's a part of the conversation, and that gives him exposure because then now, hey, people who follow Rock, every time they see Rock, they see Kevin. Oh, we'll follow this guy too. They associate Kevin Hart there. And then Kevin Hart now can take his own talents and manifest it. Let me take my comedy out here because half of Dwayne people might follow me to watch my comedy. That's new revenue stream, bro. And that's the strategy of this guy. He don't need to be an individual. He said, yo, I can be second. All I need to do is just be a part of this, man.
Let's just work on this.
Let's collaborate. Let's work on this together. You're the star. Let's work on, but I'm here too. Because at the end of the day, while he's building, his name is being mentioned everywhere. And then all of a sudden, he can become his own brand in itself. And folks are going to follow him too. That collaboration mindset, I say, oh man, that guy is smart. Money. Like when I came to...
The only time we collaborate, bro, because
our
trust
party.
me, is when it's time to buy boots.
It's when it's time to buy
It's when it's time to buy boots at the club, bro.
I came early today and I said to Thomas, yo, I love y'all, what y'all doing. But y'all need to scale this. And I asked him, how are you going to scale it? Oh, we're working on certain things, which I great because the mindset is good. But when I look on y'all Instagram, what I see is the podcast is long. The full podcast is on it. I said, nah. Here's how you scale this bad boy. Me as a working man with kids and wife, here's the deal. I don't have an hour and a half to watch your podcast on Instagram.
Bites.
You need some bad highlights bites. Like the time just now when we had that moment of high energy, that's the clip you should take. 1.5 minutes of that. Boom, 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 boom. Put some captions on it. Get some music in the background. Flashing lights. Post that. Let me tell you something.
Done.
People are going to be like, damn, what? Get this guy so excited. What are they talking about? Let me go find out who Hearts and Spades are.
Why you pointing
at me, bro?
He's taking to us, fam.
Hey, listen. Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna come here and be an individual. I'm like, y'all do your thing and let me do my thing. No, I see, and I said, bro, let's collaborate here. Let me show you how. Not show you because obviously you guys are better at this than me, but I'm just taking it from a consumer, who is just who's goes through Instagram at times, what's out there. These guys are spitting 1 minute flashy conversation that intrigues me to be like, I want to know, I want to be a part of this conversation. And then now I go search for them to listen. You don't need a long podcast, man. You just need clips. You take 10 highlights from this interview.
We have so many.
And then every other day, boom, 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 boom.
Don't give the guy idea because this boy is making us do some investments.
Anyway.
No, but Siobhan, you hit.
Anyways, man.
I think everything you said, right?
Let's go on.
You see that individualism is one thing. It's like you putting a leash on someone, and you just keep the person not going to move.
Come on, man.
I talked to T Solo about this, and the reason I see most of them, right? Not T on this guy, but I see most people, and I see them. I feel like maybe they haven't mixed so much with the people here. So just assumption.
Yeah.
For you not to understand that individualism will only take you here.
Can't go far.
You can't.
No.
Because the camera work we do, I tell T sometimes. T comes around. Why did T come around? The T do come around. No. But T come around as someone who is seeing another angle. He's a director. That's what I was telling someone. He's a director. He comes, he's like, Oh, Kai, don't do this, do this. What if I just went alone? Mind you, most times if I go for a big shoot, sometimes I go with my brother.
You gotta bring
I never go alone.
Yeah, you gotta have different perspectives.
Yeah, when I come, my brother one time I'm like, it's too high.
Yeah.
I look at him like one time I'm like, but he's seeing it from a different place. They're not
That's
seeing
right.
it. But that's what the team does.
Yeah.
But if you're the only one, you just because most Nigerians, that's the way we look at it.
Yeah, man.
You just want to go one-way traffic.
You need collaboration.
When you get there, you start to go right on LinkedIn, incoming.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna drop this real fast.
Drop the bomb.
One of the reasons why you need a good partner.
Of
Your
course.
partner.
Perfect.
Let me tell you something, boy. My wife.
Why is it perfect?
My
perfect.
wife,
I understand
brother.
where it's coming from. Don't worry.
Yo, listen, my wife.
You understand what?
You understand where it's
He
coming from.
understands.
You play gotten down on one knee. You
Yo,
actually single.
listen. Big ups to my wife, Palma. Love you, darling.
Palma.
Let me tell her right now.
We
Let me tell her right now.
Palma is the best, though.
She is a wise,
1000%.
wise woman, big man.
No, she's next level.
Wise man. And my wife would just see me doing my little stuff. And she's like, all right. Flop, 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 flop. Move these two things around. Boom. Efficiency. I was like, damn. I didn't
No,
even see that.
listen,
boy.
listen,
But
bro.
that's what a partner does. The partner should be to the insights. And that's why the collaboration is great. Because sometimes the individualism is what's killing us, as you mentioned. And the collaboration, man, with a partner who sees you day in and out, who knows you better than yourself, will tell it all to be
Let me
much
tell
more
you,
efficient.
sometimes,
boy.
you know what you just said? Sometimes it's
boy.
really, like for example, right? Like yesterday I was about to release a video, right? For the birthday thing. And the first person that will watch my video
Yes,
is watching my princess.
of course.
She just look at the first one I did.
She tell you.
Nah. That one out.
Yeah.
So I'm really angry because I spent 4 hours
Yeah.
on that thing. And she like, boring.
Yo,
Boring.
best collaboration.
Chevron?
Yes, sir.
I was about to explode because you know,
Hey.
Chevron, you're putting hours, and she finished saying that. Guess what, Chevron? She walked away.
Oh, man.
So now you're looking at yourself like, there's nobody that can tell you this truth here. Than this person what you just said.
That's right.
So I played the thing again up to 5 times.
And then
He passed again. I'm like, you know you don't want to change it,
but you don't have to.
but you have to.
Okay, you're like, oh, I
I
agree
want
with
to
her.
change it, and I answer what you were saying. So I said, okay. It's 85% now.
Yeah, man.
You're like, so you're right about that because if I'm the only one, it's good for me.
You won't see it.
It's good for me
And
already.
then you throw it out.
I'll throw it out, you know?
And you got to think about
And
it.
it's not your
out there.
best work.
It's not. You go see, I'm just like, after 4 hours, if you like say it's not my best one, I'll just move it.
Yo, all right, let's get back on the
So
finance
you
thing,
see,
man. Let's
no,
go.
no. So like it goes back to what I was saying. Like having 2-parent household, having that partner, having that like it's actually very, very important, especially with finance as well. Like being able to pass on that knowledge like to the kids, and it's not just one person that is doing all of that work. But then we've said, of course, like we've looked at the cause, because I always want to highlight those causes why we are trying to look rich, but
NBA
we're in
young
debt.
boy.
But we're in debt. Why we have the culture of, because I was talking to Siobhan and trying to know how does the things we see influence us, the music we listen to. You carry weights of cash and then you put it on your ear, and then you are wearing bling bling. As in, bro.
But still, let's get back to the reason. Why did that happen?
At this point, I don't understand how somebody can carry diamond what's over like 30 kg on their neck.
No, but T, you have to understand
I'm
something.
confused, bro.
But T, that's the function. T, every problem we highlight, let's, as a product manager, let's walk through the flow that got us to that problem.
So what got you?
Did
to
the
problem?
system contribute to that problem? Because T, if you look at a certain level in society, we were not accepted, we were not respected, we were not visible. So I feel like the people, there was a time people swung towards that area of, okay, this is the only way for me to be visible, to own this car, to own this, for you to know, oh, I've arrived.
But then
See, mind you, that
you're
plays
dying
a role.
broke, though.
No. That may not be a good approach. But that approach, because I read somewhere about that, something like that.
Here's the
Right.
thing. Our community does that because it's a symbol of happiness for them.
Yeah, true.
all these guys that have these diamond stuff, how they portray themselves as being living the best life.
Yeah.
That's how they portray themselves.
Yeah.
You now watching it and sort of digesting that, you're like, man, look at my life, bro. I'm trying to be, I need to feel happy like all these guys feel happy.
Buy the big chain.
And yo, let me go buy this big chain too. Listen, I have no dudes, man. They have the nicest car, but live in a basement. Y'all laughing. I'm telling you. You're driving a nice Mercedes Benz. I live in a basement, brother. And it's like, and I'm not knocking the folks that do live in basements. Obviously, your aspiration is to get out of that,
course.
no doubt. But you can't be driving a $60,000 car and yet you living in a basement. Whatever money you're paying into that monthly, you could be investing that to get a property.
But if you look at it, the women don't. People who are chasing you, they don't look at it the way you're looking at it.
People that do what?
People that are chasing that person don't look at you the way you're looking. They look at it like, T.
Bro, why are you so short-sighted, bro?
I'm not short-sighted.
No, why are you so short-sighted,
No.
bro?
You guys don't understand what I mean. What we're doing in this podcast is, Siobhan is laying down. It's wrong for us to do that. Where I'm coming from is, this is what those people are seeing.
Yes.
You have to have those two angles. You have to put on manager. You cannot be seeing one angle.
No, but
That's what
hold
they
on.
say.
Why are
Let me
they?
tell you something.
No,
eh?
wait, Titi, hold on.
If I'm a chick, and then...
No, you're not a chick.
Hold
No.
on,
It
hold
cannot be
on,
assumption.
hold on. If I'm a chick,
We're not.
All right, if a chick is comfortable rolling with a guy that
If a
is
girl
driving...
is comfortable.
If a chick, a girl is
Sensible.
rolling with a guy, is rolling with a guy that is comfortable driving a 60K car and is in a basement, trust me, man.
No, but you're
Like
making
your head,
it. No,
your head,
No, but you're making
your
a
head
mistake.
is not,
But
your
you're
head
making
is
a
not
mistake.
well.
But you're making a mistake. This is a
Trust
reality.
me.
It's
No,
a
relax.
reality.
Trust me,
Like,
bro.
it's like, it's a reality, though.
If you're hold on.
You are right.
If you're a
Hold
chick
on.
here,
Let me show you
and
this.
then the guy is driving a car, what
60,000,
60K,
yeah.
and he pulls up, and then okay, you thought you're going to go up the stairs, but he takes.
No, but
he takes you down the basement,
Hold on. Hold on. You're making a mistake. Here's the mistake you're making.
What mistake am I making?
T.
Am I making?
The reason you mentioned, people bought that thing for happiness, right?
Yep.
And again, one that thing is Chevron mentioned is status in our community.
Yep.
Nobody cares whether that guy is now big man. That car is the status
That
that
car is
is
the
the
status.
status. So you have to understand. That's
That's
why
why
I'm saying you
people
come from
are
an
sitting
angle.
outside.
People are looking at that thing like, do you know how many people I know that drive G-Wagon? I know that sometimes there's no food in the fridge, in the house. But that's one thing you have to understand. Every time we pick up a girl, one of the compliments is that vehicle.
Oh, nice car.
They're not looking at even me at the back.
My head is hurting, boy.
Exactly.
My head is hurting so much, brother. When I hear something like that,
I know, you know what I mean? But it's, that's why I'm saying I'm coming from that angle. Of
Yes,
what is,
the
because
status.
the way I look at some things is, when I'm digesting a problem, what is running through that person's head? Because see, someone cannot just wake up one morning and go into a shop and buy that.
Hey, listen, I might be in my basement all hungry, but when I go outside and I look into that and I step into this car, a big smile come on my face. Listen, but let me tell you something, brother. If that's their mindset, hey man, kudos to
That's
you,
what I'm
but
saying.
bro.
No, not kudos to you. It's the wrong mindset. It's the wrong mindset
It is
to
100.
have.
Listen, it upsets me. It's definitely the wrong mindset.
Yes.
Most definitely the wrong mindset. You can't be paying into liabilities and not building assets.
100%.
Car is a liability, man. It is depreciated every single day. The value goes down every single day. That is the vehicle. That is a car. There's no value in it at all. I'm telling you. Get yourself into what's going to build you assets, man. Get a property, whatever the case would be. Let that flip, let that grow. That's the equity you want to make moves and do what you got to do. There's other ways too. Learning and understanding how to trade, how to do stock, how to do mutual funds, how to learn a plan for dollar cost averaging, compounding. There's a whole much things that you can let your money put in work. Wait, I want to touch into this thing because I don't know how much you guys value compounding.
Compounding is good.
You value compounding is changed my life, boy. And I think I asked Solomon this the other day when we were chatting. What's 10% of $1,000?
That's $100.
$100. That's it. What's 10% of $100,000?
That's 10,000.
10 grand. You see the difference? That's how compounding kicks in. Compounding is when your values get to a place like 100, 200K, $1 million. Usually listen, I know mans which are smart. They make their first 6 figures and just live off the interest. Meaning they have 250K, put it in somewhere where the interest is growing, and every month as the interest grow probably 2%, 3%, they take out that interest.
That's what they're doing.
And just live on the interest and let the money that's there keep compounding, paying them back. That's another strategy for another time. But that
one is another compound podcast.
So literally, technically, they're just going to be living off of
the interest.
25K.
That's it.
Every month.
Not 25K.
If you're making 10%, well, not monthly, but if you're making 10% and you can see that at the end of the month, okay, I made $2,000, $3,000 here. Just take that money out from that money because it's compounding. Because of the interest on it. The greater value your money is, the faster it grows because then 5% of 250,000 is money. 10% of $1 million, that's 100K. Tell me you can't live off that and just let the money keep growing and just compound.
That's too much. 5,000 is.
But I'm just trying to get you guys to understand the power of compounding, man, and how interest is so key, bro. It's man, I love this stuff, man.
No, you know, as you're saying this,
this stuff, man.
Our head is even if the money is not.
But this is why I say, man, don't think about the initial. Don't think about the price. You cannot look at price. You can't snap a finger and all of a sudden 300,000 is here. No, you have to build that. So therefore, look at the value. Where am I going to be in 10 years? Show me that, Siobhan. All right, in 10 years, if you do this monthly, this is where you're going to be with an assumptive interest rate of 7% or 6%. You're going to be at 250. Can you make the sacrifice for that timeline or for the 5%, depending on what you put in? Because when you do get to that 250 or the 100K, guess what you do? You just watch the interest move on that fast, and you just take it out, use it as a supplementary income to what you're already doing on the side.
And it's tax-free.
And it's tax-free money because it's your interest that's going on it. Strategies, man.
Siobhan, all this thing you're saying, it still boils down to that main thing. We cannot go on this journey alone.
Well, you can do that on your own.
No, you can do it on your own. But the many one to build that generational wealth.
Oh, generational thing is...
Yeah.
Nah, you can do that. You can do it with you and your spouse. Can set up
of course. Yeah, it's still collaboration.
Again, it boils down to finding a spouse that also understands the importance of generational wealth.
Hold on.
Because if you have a spouse that's like, yo, man, let's spend this money now. Last week we had a podcast on delayed gratification.
Yeah.
You know, delaying the reward of today, for a better reward tomorrow. That's like that. Trust me, it was so sensational. Because when you make that 2K right now, and then instead of you to put aside 1,800 and spend maybe like 200, and then you blow the entire
money,
the entire 2K
on
because of the hope of getting another 2K.
Yes.
Like it's
but that's why they use the terminology. Live once. That's why.
YOLO, yeah, of course. And again, like that's actually what our people are doing. And like I actually do believe that despite the fact that we have access to so much information right now, this generation is actually going to be more broke.
But you know what?
Than the parents.
But you have to understand that when you have access,
I'm serious.
When you have access to something, if I can go to your washroom every time, I don't see the value of a washroom. If I can only go to your washroom once a week, that's value.
So now you're saying there is too much information out there.
Do you know what's funny? You can become...
Information is not the problem.
It's not information.
It's not information. It is the individual themselves.
And again, the mindset.
The mindset. The information that is out there that is a lot, man, it is great. Man, I'll take these information at any point. But it comes down to the individual who actually want to implement it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be intentional of implementing. Learning and willing to be disciplined and making sacrifice. Here's the deal, man. A lot of times folks will see me and they say, oh, Siobhan, you're a financial educator and a financial specialist and so forth. Look at the vehicle I drive. I'm like, exactly the reason why I drive the vehicle I drive. Because that's not where my investments is. I just need to get from point A to point B.
Why are they even talking about the vehicle?
But it doesn't matter because some
of
people...
course, they expect him to be...
because
driving a range.
For them, status is what they see.
No, status is always what they see. Yeah.
Which is the unfortunate piece of it. My mindset is, big man.
But then, like...
I am building a structure here that once it's built, I'll be at a place where you're just like, God, I wish.
No, but status is what has always killed us. Like
No, status always have
I
killed
look
us.
at I look at someone like Elon or someone like Zuckerberg.
Oh, look how those guys dress.
Thank you.
Look how they dress. T-shirt, khaki pants, and a pair of shoes.
You know what I like those guys? That's what they call quiet luxury.
It's not about quiet law.
No, that's what I mean. T.
I remember.
T.
I
They
remember
will never
sometime,
wear
yeah.
all those things.
They don't need it.
That
Listen,
show,
yes.
Elon
No.
was on.
No.
Elon was on one. Let me just make this point. So Elon was on a podcast, and then he was talking about like too many people were on their jets, so they could not fly. Trust me, he was wearing like polo shirts, bro. Listen,
There's no time for
this
that.
is someone that he literally, of course, he has a house, but he sleeps in Tesla factory, bro.
Leave that one. That one is different.
No, of course, it's different and all. But then
I will listen to that.
That one different.
That one
But
is
I
different.
understand what he's saying.
going to go. No.
I get what you mean. I
Of
get
course,
what you mean.
Of course, like that one is personal to him. Like I'm just
personal,
talking
yeah.
about they spend money on things
Value,
that
man.
will matter
Value.
and not things that would not matter. There's no
Value.
point for me to wear a bling that is 18 karat diamond or whatever
But-
it is.
but-
But let me
these
flip
guys.
it. Let me ask a question.
What?
Because this way we're always missing. You know, you mentioned it about happiness, right? Because this society have redefined happiness. There are some things that bring happiness to people. That's what I've noticed on people, right? Like, I was talking to someone and they say, if I don't go to 5 countries in a year, I'm not satisfied. That's money. And once you get on the plane, it's money, travel. Although it's a good experience.
Experience though.
Right? Right? But that brings the person happiness. Me? I don't see that as something that brings me. Because once I buy that ticket, I start to calculate. So I have to rent a hotel. Oh, they always say, all included. You just go there, have fun. It's good. Don't get me wrong. But that's what I'm saying, that some people, that's what brings them happiness. There's some people, as I said, I have friends, it's about cars. They say, oh, I love cars. Kali, the same way you love camera, the same way you love design, I love cars. So when they mention that, you kind of like, okay. But it's not the same. Because for them, I know his status. Because it looks like it's like a do or die situation. I must have this car. Because every 5 years they change it, right? There's a new one. You cannot continue driving a G-Wagon of 2016. When I say 2022, something like that. So there's no updating that. Me, I didn't see anything in that because I always think the cars will go on sale.
So, guys, the information is out there.
What information?
I mean, like financial freedom, financial security,
right,
like how to level up. But then people are not still absorbing it. So how can we force it down their throats?
You can't force it down their throats.
It's no.
I know I'm just playing
It's not like you force it NSC, down someone's throat.
No, I'm just saying, like, how else can our people?
Let me tell you how we can do it.
How?
Chevron, you can agree with me. Chevron, any society you have studied in history that is successful, right? It starts by building a system.
I know. See, I wanted to go back to that whole system thing. I don't think you should blame like.
But you don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
system.
wait, chill.
No, he's not
If
talking
you're-
about that type of system.
I'm not talking about the different system. I hope you know.
No,
What
hold
type
on.
of system?
Hold
Okay,
on.
then let me explain to you.
Okay, please do.
Because I'm not talking about the way these guys run their own
You're not
system,
talking
right?
about ethic.
Yeah, I'm not talking. Yeah.
No.
What I'm talking about is if you look back, if you go read, for example, there's a book they call The Village Effect. The village system, right? Everything, there's hierarchy, but things still go around. There's a town crier. People, the information goes around.
Yeah.
People gather to absorb information. If anything comes into the community, almost every household is aware. If there's a new information, there's a new intruder. That's what I'm talking about.
okay, now I see. I
We
saw
moved
it.
away from that system.
Yeah.
Because normally, someone like Chevron would have gone to the king.
I said, oh yeah, I have this
King.
information.
I've gone out.
I've
Been here for 10 years. Remember my father's house. This is information. Now. King will say, okay, thank you. Call people like 5 p.m. We're back here. We want to assimilate this information.
That's right.
But we don't have that anymore.
The problem is, man.
Do you understand what I'm
honestly,
saying?
one of the biggest problems in our black community. In my profession, there are some very bad apples.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That has ruined it for a lot of people.
I see.
And then they
in
become
every profession,
and they then know like I can't trust these folk because I don't know. I don't know this person if they're gonna do me like, You know what I mean?
Like the other guy did.
Yeah. So the trust piece have really, the bad apples have made it tough where, you know, some guys just in it for the money. See, I do this not for the money. I do this for my community, bro. As well as,
Giving back.
bro, you have to understand that, man, how selfish am I to be here, putting strategies in place for my family, understanding the stuff that I'm setting up, and just watch y'all just talk and I just say, hey, let me keep this to myself. I got this. Let me just gatekeep this. For what? You know what I mean? Because I can let you guys know this information and you're like, yo, all right, perfect. I have somebody that I like, that I trust. I'm going to go direct it to them and they're going to help me out with whatever investments and so forth. That's okay with me. But at least that way I know that I've imparted some knowledge and some help for you to then strategize and go do what you need to do to get you to the next level. Which is very, very important, man.
But exactly, you see, Chevron, that thing still boils down to, I know I keep repeating that because I know one thing with our people is they are not people that take information the first time. Right? I'm talking about people I know very well, Nigerians.
Yes.
Let me put it this way. You have to treat them like the way Pharaoh was treating
the Israelites.
See, our people, I still say from now to tomorrow, our people don't deserve democracy.
Wow.
They
deserve dictatorship.
That one is hard.
What?
No, not dictatorship.
No.
Okay.
No, they deserve kingship monarch.
No, but Kali.
You know why? The people like Thomas, for example, now, I can't tell him what information and it get to him. He needs maybe I come here and hit the door. Or lock him out of his email.
Or they have to go through it.
Or have to go. So, the way I believe our people information is repetition.
Is it because in the villages they had chiefs? They ruse to that system?
That's a good point.
That's why I was asking.
They have, okay, let me
They
put
have
it
a
this way.
chief where everybody goes to.
They have, okay, the women had their leader.
Okay.
Very powerful.
Yes.
So every August they meet.
Go there.
Far and wide you come down.
Wow.
They still won't have it now.
Got you.
August meeting.
And they sit down and they deliberate on issues. They share information.
Yes.
Right? Although some of them, they are bad apples that are sports, some of those things, right? You know?
No, but of course, like
that's
people say
always-
bad apples, bro. Like that's life, man.
That's life. You're always
Some
going to be
people
there.
born
It's
you,
always
some
be there.
people would,
But-
like.
That is correct.
But those were, I was looking back when my grandmother was telling me some of the stories. She was part of the people that built the King's Palace. I was wondering, what do you mean part of the people? So there were women who were picked from the community
Wow.
to be part of the people that would support in building the King's Palace. And to were people making the cement. And every time there was information every Saturday going out from the King's place. People would gather. So that, imagine, that was during no internet. That's why I told you, when information is hard, when information doesn't, you can't type it on Google. That information was going around in a place of maybe 6,000 people. Information was still going around. The success of now, there were millions, all you just have to do is type Google. No, I'm not saying you find the right information on Google, but man, that's what this. The only thing you cannot be online now is a doctor. There is nothing online you cannot learn now.
Yep.
Even doctor can learn it.
I thought you
The only
just
problem,
said
the only problem with that is the practicalization. You need a human being.
That is
Yeah, of
correct.
course.
You need a
If
hands-on.
you minus that,
You need a
there's
hands-on.
there's nothing you cannot learn.
You need a hands-on, for sure.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So for we, is it off? So just for we Chevron, the way I look, because what you shared here, people will charge.
It's powerful, bro.
People will charge consultation fee of $300 the first time. You give us that first one first.
Yeah.
You know that's what people do in sales. Because I believe one of the things that helped me so much is doing sales the first time. If you don't know how to sell to people, you can never have confidence again. Yeah.
I don't know if in Nigeria, when you were in Nigeria, I know you left.
Which area was in Nigeria?
When you left decades ago, I never knew if you heard the term generational wealth.
I did.
I did not.
No, let me tell you why. See,
I did not either.
No.
I did not.
Let me tell you why.
Back in Nigeria, I did not.
Let me tell you why. Right? My dad is one of the guy is too smart. Sometimes it's annoying. Right? One of the things he's heavy on, even till now, right, is that investment.
Big time.
And T, what's funny is if I tell you how old he was I cannot mention how old he was when he had his first house. T, because of that investment
Yes, sir.
that
Grew over time.
grew over time.
Yes.
Because if he didn't have that T, there's no way he could have supported me to come here. But see, that's why I said he always mentions that every time. So every time you see him, he's driving a
No,
very,
but then, like,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
But guess what?
I believe the reason our parents were like that is because they were forced to live with, like, the harsh realities of life compared to where you, like, what we have right now. Things are relatively easy. You know, people say, oh, take your time, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like, I turned 27, like, a couple of weeks ago. At 27, my dad got settled at 23.
So already, yeah.
My dad already, most likely, like,
explain the meaning of settled because you might not know.
So,
We said get married?
No. You see?
No, so, like, in our culture, so we are Igbos. So in our culture, there's something called the Igbo apprenticeship system. So you have, they call it a master. So a master has a couple of boys that learn business from him. And then they're with him for like maybe
7 years. That was the
sometimes beginning. Back then it was 7 years. Yeah. And then after 7 years, the master gives you some money and you go start yours. And then you actually, replicate that model. This model has been studied in Harvard. In fact, this model is basically responsible for bringing back the Igbos after the war. And trust me, we are individually, yes, we are the richest people in Nigeria. I can say that with confidence.
Yeah, without government support.
Without government support. After the war in 1970, they took away everything we had and gave our grandparents 20 pounds. But then within 9 years, we rose back up. So the term settlement is you serve someone for 7 years. Mm-hmm. After the 7 years, they give you some money, you go, start yours. Or you could do combined,
Yeah.
You could actually like have like a combined business.
What he's saying, I don't want to get to it today, but they sometimes it's always fun. It's always when a white person studies our stuff that will take it serious. Right? The guy, they went to one of the markets in Nigeria.
Alaba International.
And the guys, for some time, did research, studied it, and was trying to replicate that in Harvard. But that's a system we never value. Even to the 20th century.
Can you imagine?
We never valued it.
Yep.
Till someone else, that's another problem too. That's a different story. Till someone else who doesn't look like us come and validate.
So like back to
value the information.
Yeah.
So like back to the point I was talking about.
Like
I'm saying like our parents were at 16. My dad started serving his boss. At 23, they had settled him. So most of us sometimes, we have the luxury of going to school. He did not really have the luxury of going to school. He had to go and serve his boss to start making his own living and all. So sometimes not being faced with that harsh reality, we push, those things back instead of us facing it. And like, when your dad built his first house and all, and then he started thinking, oh, what's Kali going to? And I believe like at a very young age, he started having you guys and all.
Yeah, but let me shock you one of the things that T mentioned something about education. This will blow your mind, Siobhan, you will like it. Mm-hmm. Most of our parents were growing up. Some of them that obviously like the women went to school, majority of them. But the men that didn't go to school, do you know how they learn how to be really fluent in English? Let me shock you. The Bible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
can see that.
Yep.
Because nobody understands the Bible. The Bible is old English, but it's the foundation of English.
It's foundation.
If you read some of the, like for example, I used to use this word
old
before.
English, man.
Yeah, I used to use some of the words sometimes in article. I beseech you. You don't use that anymore, right? But those are good English that it's old English, but those are the things that you still see some of them.
Foundation, man.
Yeah, that's how they learn.
Wow.
It was kind of interesting to see.
That's
that.
incredible, man.
Yeah.
So when you're forced to face reality, you begin to be financially responsible. When you're not forced to face reality quick, or when you're not forced to move away from your house at a young age, when like there are some things that actually throw you into life, and you're like, nah, I have to brace myself.
You grow up quick.
Fast.
But I don't think you always have to be in that situation to get into that space.
Of course, you don't.
Yeah, so because I remember you asked how can people now get like understand this, like should we force it down like them? Basically, I think in this day and age, now that we don't have the town cry and everything, social media is kind of our community, and Now,
But those type of
there
content,
being-
how many people watch those type of content?
Exactly. Now that's the reason why
That's a good
there
point,
is
yeah.
there has to be consistency in that type of content. There has to be. Now it's more like you're forcing people to see it, right? And the more people see it,
The more they believe it.
the more they believe it, the more they understand it. Which was one of my goal for this year, which was to put out educational content about real estate, right? And so far, the result I've been seeing from it is people of our age, asking questions.
They're receptive.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
like, what's this about? What's this about? They're like, okay, if I have this amount saved up, can I do this, right? So like people want to get to that point, but we need to capitalize on our new society, which is social media, unfortunately enough. But that's the best way to just go about it right now, which is just put out educative content, which some of us will still have to capitalize on that and make money from that as well.
I like what you said, but there's a caveat to that.
Please punch.
You see, the society, when I used to like go to Stratford for work and school, T, will shock you there. Do you know that T? So they don't deliver newspaper anymore here. I guess you haven't seen
They
newspaper.
stopped, yeah.
But T, the communities there still they still have newspaper
They still have
coming.
newspapers.
T, because they are not relying on this online world. TikTok was banned with the government side.
Yeah.
It just takes a while for it to ban individual. Just something might happen. You never know. But see, these guys know. That's why I say this. The system they have, they're still keeping it. It's not everywhere, but they're still see, I'm surprised I'm getting newspaper. What am I getting? See, they're detailing things you are seeing online. It's a small community, but the newspaper is still coming.
Yeah, but you see, internet,
Yeah. Internet is
social
the way, though,
media
it's the way, yeah.
has done much for the community as well.
Yeah.
Accelerates
I
it
agree, yeah.
in a lot of ways. So there's man, as I mentioned, the bad apples, man, it's rough, man.
But
But it's very, very important of what we have right now. Like, as you mentioned, how do we beat it in everyone's head? Social media right now. You can't reach everybody, but you can reach everybody by just speaking with content. Hey, they're looking for it, they'll come find it, they'll
that's
see
true,
it.
man.
They'll go into their real section, they'll see a whole bunch of it. If someone goes into Instagram or whatever and just type in finance, all you see is a flood.
But that's overload of information. But that's for me as a
That begins to
let me
cost
come.
other
there is a
things.
cost to
Yeah,
that, for sure.
Yeah.
If I come from an aspect, let me hear the heart of a designer. That's problematic. Because see,
Yes.
in the society, I know why I crave for this small society. You know why, T? They can weed out the bad apples. You can't weed out the bad apple online.
No, you can't.
Because guess what? The good ones, the bad apple now dress like the good ones.
Yep.
Disseminate those same information. Before you know, T, there's someone that is charging how much to talk about real estate, first time home buyer thing. T, the person is making bang.
Charging.
Yeah, charging money. First of all, let me tell you what you do for you take the cost first of all. Then you come for the consultation. And this person is preaching two things. You have to make money and how to also have your investment. But T, it's not free. T, just more by 30 seconds, you're gonna hear one or two things. But T, you already before you know you're signed up. We have 15,000 people already. We're full in September. I'm like, okay, but this person is not saying anything. But T, you have to pay money. Pay the first one, pay the second one. Now they have subscription on Instagram.
Yes.
Of course.
I'm not saying you should not make, obviously people make money. But T, that's one of the key things people do this in.
Well,
They got to pay bills.
because information is, here's the thing with information. Information is everywhere. It definitely is. It's just comes out to who's giving that information.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People value certain people saying certain things. In terms of information. Like if TD Jakes to go preach a sermon compared to somebody down the street, everybody gonna want to hear it. Same sermon, but
That's a good
TD Jakes is what I want to hear. And unfortunately, man, you might have someone like myself who's really trying to like provide that information and provide that access to these where people need to go. But they might be interested in a bigger named individual that most likely gonna
More
like,
followers.
Do you listen to Jay-Z?
I do not listen to rap.
He never tell you.
He never say I listen to you, man.
He said
Why?
the whole genre, he
Why?
doesn't listen to
Why?
it.
Not my cup of tea. That's all it is. I can respect their lyricism, and all those guys are lyricists. They're really good.
Yeah.
What they're writing.
Yeah.
Here, my thing is this. As you know, I'm a churchgoer.
Mm.
It's hard for me to take in words that people write down that they have regurgitated it from their mind and whatever, and knowing that some of them are under the influence, writing these things. I don't know what you're
I see what you
feeding,
mean,
what you're hearing, what your spiritual status is,
to your place.
and then all of a sudden I am now meditating on this thing to go about my life. I can't guide my life.
And your
that way.
family is meditating on it.
And my family.
Yeah.
I know I heard of people before they go get themselves ready to go on a mission with gang members. They put on some
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
some heavy
Yeah,
rap,
yeah.
trap music
Of course.
to get them amped.
Of course.
Because that's what's in the music. So it gets them amped, and that's like they
like a
get
drug.
trans. They're drugged in it. When they hear pop, 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 whatever the case may be, then they go and go emulate whatever the music just said.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I don't have no idea where you're coming from, what you've been doing, what you're
He
feeling.
wants to join.
I don't need that.
No. The reason I actually
I don't
asked him
need
that
that, yeah.
was because in Jay-Z's 444 album, like he actually talks a lot about financial freedom, like a lot about buying, like comparing himself.
He got woke in 444.
Yeah.
That's, my brother is
Yeah.
a huge Jay-Z fan.
Like
and he got
spoke
woke
like
in that one.
if you actually listen to it, like anybody that listens to rap,
It's
if you
about
listen
black
to
empowerment.
444, yeah, 444. He spoke about how Jews actually make the money. Like he actually,
but-
and trust me, like he actually got so much fire for it because to them, he was basically leaking their secrets, and then he was not. Yeah.
But T, you know what's funny?
What?
I feel like we have too many motivational speakers in our era.
And there are more that will still come.
Do you know why?
Motivational speakers. Okay.
Motivational speakers.
Give me an example of two.
Aspire to Maguire.
Why did you call Maguire?
Aspire, of course, star. That's as in like, oh yeah, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this,
He
do
said,
this,
aspire
do
to
this, do
Maguire.
that.
Kill
They're a good thing in society, don't get me wrong. Like this guy that passed away, I love him so much. Proctor. I'm trying. Yeah, Proctor. I can't pronounce his name. Why do this? His sound. He talked about self-consciousness, and he's not.
Okay.
It's not doing all there are different types. He's not doing all the Lamborghini, my garage, and all those things. Kind of. So he's different. But what I'm trying to say is, the motivational speakers, they're not leading us the route of implementation.
Man. You don't even know what you just touched on right there, boss.
I was about to just say, like, oh.
And that is because, as you said, you tone it, it's like a drug. You tone it, it does what it's supposed to do,
And
you relax.
relax.
You go again, you tune it. It's just like you putting on, what's the name of this guy? There's a guy they used to put on for fitness. You put it on, he's going to scream. You can go, City Fletcher. You turn on City Fletcher.
yeah.
City Fletcher talk, you take on this thing, you go to the gym, it's like a pre-workout.
Yes.
What if City Fletcher wasn't there?